Once upon a time, in the village of Ikani, lived three beautiful young maidens known as Otomma, Nwakego, and Ujunwa. Otomma, Nwakego, and Ujunwa were exceptionally beautiful and were very close friends. Other maidens in their village wanted to be like them as they envied the bond between the three of them. The bond between Otomma, Nwakego, and Ujunwa could pass for that of blood relations. Most of the eligible young men in the village of Ikani talked about the triplet friends endlessly and wanted to have them for themselves as they were so beautiful. The triplet friends loved every bit of traffic their beauty was causing in their village. Otumma was the leader of the group. Otumma had an exceptional kind of wisdom and grace that made Nwakego and Ujunwa do whatever she tells them to do without questioning it. You guys know we are the prettiest girls in this village, said Otumma to her friends. Because of that, we must not settle for just anyone in marriage. We can never be with any man who is not wealthy or very handsome. You guys know it is only wealthy men that can take us abroad, right? Otoma asked her friends. Wakego and Ujunwa nodded in support of the idea. The triplet friends desperately wanted to leave their village for a better place they believed would be suitable and befitting for their beauty. As time went on, the triplet friends soon started to dress like they were already abroad inside their village as a clear warning for the low-life boys in their village to know that they were not their type. Any village boy who dared to come close to woo them always met harsh insults from the triplet friends. Utumma convinced Nwakego and Ujunwa that their village boys were bad lucks and setbacks. She told them that the boys in their village will lower their status and stain their whites if they didn't stay miles and miles away from them. Is this not Mazi Okoro the palm wine tapper's son? Said Ujunwa loudly to a young eligible bachelor who once summoned courage to walk up to them. The young man nodded joyfully because the big babes recognized him. His joy was immediately cut short with the sudden burst of laughter from the triplet friends before they ordered him out of their presence. The triplet friends went ahead to empty a full pot of water on a village boy who dared to walk up to them to woo them at their village stream one hot afternoon. They warned the helpless boy to never try to cast his poverty spell on them ever again by coming inches close to them wherever he saw them. The triplet friends' behavior soon became a matter of grave concern in their whole village, as many people didn't like their rudeness and wicked character towards people, especially the men. Who do they even think they are? Said one of the village boys to his group of friends one evening. They are not even the finest girls in the world, yet we will not hear word for them. The other boys laughed so hard at him and told him to go and say that to their faces now. The thing is that no matter how much people hated the behavior of the triplet friends, whenever they stepped out, they were still a very dazzling spectacle to behold. Even the angriest of hearts would somehow soften and yearn for a hello from them because of their beauty. Because, according to the Igbo people, ihe dị mma n'anya gbara akwụkwọ, which means that the eyes is always in love with what looks good. Not long after, news filtered into the village of Ikani that some wealthy men from their village who live abroad will be visiting the village that year for the Christmas holidays. This news gladdened the hearts of many maidens in the village of Ikani. Otumma Nwakego and Ujunwa were the happiest because they knew no other maiden in the village would stand a chance with them as they were the prettiest. The triplet friends spent the weeks leading to December in intense preparations. They sewed the most flattering outfits, perfected their makeup games, learned the latest slangs and phonetics to use and create lasting impressions on their potential suitors who were returning from abroad. The long awaited abroad boys finally arrived in style by the second week of December. They arrived with brand new luxurious cars, flashy clothes, gold chains, and loud stories about their successful, happy lives abroad. Amongst the abroad returnees was Chike, who worked odd jobs in Italy but lied to everyone in the village that he owned a large business empire abroad. Another was Emeka, who barely scraped by in the UK but boasted to everyone that he had a large real estate venture where he was living abroad. Another also was Maduka, a married man from Canada who lied to his family that he was going to Nigeria to settle some extended family issues but only wanted to come and flirt with girls so as to escape his real life responsibilities. He lied to everyone in Ikani village that he was one of the richest tech guys in Canada. The abroad boys quickly became the talk of town as everyone in the village of Ikani, especially the young maidens, talked about them endlessly while scheming on how to position themselves to get noticed by the abroad boys. The abroad boys threw lavish parties in the village and spent money extravagantly. It seemed like the dream men Otoma, Nwakego and Ujunwa had been waiting for all their adult lives, so they had to quickly swing into action to make sure the abroad big boys noticed them. At one of the lavish traditional weddings in the village during the festive season, Otoma intentionally passed by Chike severally, ensuring that her beauty was dazzling enough not to miss. When it seemed as if Chike was so busy to notice her, she politely greeted him, and there happened the magic. Chike got drawn to Tuma's beauty immediately and he called her back. They got talking and Chike started to woo Utuma. Utuma wasted no time in accepting Chike's offer as that was what she desperately wanted. Chike promised Utuma that he would take her abroad and spoil her silly. He also promised her that he would expand his business empire to some other foreign countries and make her a manager of one. Utuma was beyond excited over those rosy promises Chike made her. She couldn't wait for the holidays to be over so that they would start making her travel plans. She gave her body to Chike to use as it pleased him throughout the holiday season. Chike went on to connect Utuma's friends to Emeka and Maduka, his friends. The abroad boys spoiled Utuma, Nwakego and Ujunwa silly. They showed them off and partied so hard with them to the envy of many. The other maidens in their village were not so happy they were not chosen. They, however, all knew that if the triplet friends declared a little interest in the abroad boys, none of them would stand a chance, so they all held their peace. Otoma, Nwakego, and Ujunwa gave their abroad boyfriends a tour of all the contours of their village and some of their neighboring villages. Whenever the triplet friends were by themselves alone, they would dance joyfully and talk endlessly about all they would do once they entered abroad. Their plans for abroad were so huge, and everything somehow seemed to be aligning for them so fast. How lucky they were, they would say. As January began to approach fast, Chike gradually started distancing himself from Otumma. By the time the New Year celebrations were over, without saying a word to Otumma, Chike vanished. All efforts by Otumma to reach Chike on phone proved abortive. To worsen it all, Otumma discovered she was pregnant. She was so heartbroken. Her friends Nwakego and Ujunwa were not left out in the abroad boys dumping games. Emeka told Nwakego that he had an urgent business he needed to rush to Lagos to attend to, and that was it. He never came back nor called Nwakego ever again. He left her with a terrible sexually transmitted disease that itched so bad. Maduka was the one who angrily ended things with Ujunwa to her face because Ujunwa posted pictures of them in romantic positions on her social media, and his wife in Canada, on whose visa he was using to stay in Canada as a dependent, stumbled upon it and confronted him. Soon, the village was filled with rumors of the misfortunes that had befallen the triplet friends. Many people in their village mocked them so much to their faces, especially the village boys they had treated badly in the past. Some of the village boys would sometimes call out for them on the road and act as if they wanted to woo them. If they tried to answer, the boys would start laughing at them mockingly. Otuma, Nwakego, and Ujunwa individually nursed the pains of what happened to them in their own ways. Utoma struggled with the stigma of being an unwed mother. Her family scolded her so bad that she had to resort to doing menial jobs she felt were beneath her before, just to raise money to use and take care of herself and her child, as the father was nowhere in sight. Nwakego, on the other hand, was stuck on a long road of recovery from her health issues, as the sexually transmitted disease she contracted from Emeka was rapidly eating out her body every day that comes by. Ujunwa fell into severe depression as the betrayal and shame she felt for naively falling for a married man and giving herself so cheaply to him haunted her so bad. Meanwhile, Chike, Emeka, and Maduka returned to their lives abroad, feeling completely unconcerned about the damages they left in the hearts of the beauty queens of Ikani town. This is the end of my story. The moral of this story is that abroad is not heaven. Women who naively throw themselves at men returning from abroad, especially during festive seasons, because they desire better lives, should stop it, as it doesn't always end well. Secondly, be careful how you treat people. You don't necessarily need to be condescending and cruel to anyone because you don't want to be with them, as whatever goes around in this life comes around. Finally, never you plan your life around what you know nothing about, as all that glitters in this life are not always gold. Thank you for watching.